Cowboys executive Stephen Jones on Monday, this comes via Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News, talking about the settlement of the cheerleader voyeurism allegation for $2.4 million, coupled with the finding by the team that when it investigated the situation, there was no wrongdoing. Said Stephen Jones, I think Jerry's addressed it, and I really don't have anything to add to what he said and what our statements have been. I feel like we have a solid culture. You can always be better. You strive to get better every day in every area. That would be my comment. Jerry addressed it kind of clumsily, frankly, on Friday night, saying that they investigated it and not substantiated, basically, but out of respect to the cheerleaders and because of the allegations they made, we did the settlement. And he probably went beyond the non-disclosure agreement by saying what he said, and he should just waive the non-disclosure agreement so the cheerleaders can tell their stories. Because, Peter, I can't reconcile. And it's impossible to reconcile a finding that Rich Dalrymple, former longtime PR executive, engaged in no wrongdoing when the allegation is he secretly videotaped cheerleaders who were changing clothes in their locker room. The team finds no wrongdoing but pays out $2.4 million. That makes absolutely, positively no sense to me whatsoever. These organizations do not give away free money, especially under circumstances like that. Because if they found no wrongdoing, the cheerleaders were making inaccurate and potentially false allegations.
And excuse me, Mike, I think that the one part of this that you have pointed out, that it's almost like the NFL sometimes, and look, this could be an absolute outlier within the Cowboys organization. There may not be anything else other than this one thing. And I feel fairly sure that when asked by Jeff Pash or Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones would have told them that this is one employee. This only happened, whatever, this time 6 years ago, whenever it was. And so there, and with the paucity of evidence that there's anything else other than this one thing, the league just let them skate. But and the difference, obviously, in Washington is that you've got over 40 women who've brought a complaint or separate complaints against the ownership and management of this organization. And that's all I can think of as to why the NFL has decided to bury this case.
And, Peter, I look at it very simply. When the allegations are made, if you look at the personal conduct policy, there is a mandate in there that the team report allegations of this nature directly to the league. And it's broader than someone being arrested. It's any allegation of behavior that could be a violation of the personal conduct policy. It must be promptly and immediately reported to the league. And then the league will investigate. So the problem here is, number one, did the Cowboys ever report this? I've asked the league 3 different times. They have ignored me, not even a no comment. They have ignored me 3 times when I've asked that question, did the Cowboys report this to the league when the allegations were made or at any time? And then, as it relates to the investigation, we just had the commissioner 3 Wednesdays ago say as to the Washington Commanders and the latest allegation involving Daniel Snyder, when Snyder wanted to do the investigation himself, Roger Goodell said, team can't investigate itself. Well, why were the Cowboys allowed to investigate themselves, and why isn't the league investigating it now? And, Peter, the cynical answer, and cynicism is justified with many of the things the NFL does. They got enough boiling pots right now, and they don't want one of the marquee franchises to be caught up in a scandal that may catch the attention of Congress. So they're saying nothing and they're doing nothing, no matter what the allegations are, no matter what the truth may be, no matter where the investigation may lead. The number one question I have, was Rich Dalrymple acting alone, or was he doing what he allegedly did with the knowledge of others or at the behest of others? If you don't investigate it, you never get the answer to that question. So, it's just amazing to me that they've gotten away with this. Of all the teams, the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most popular and notorious teams in all of sports, this scandal is hiding in plain sight, and it's been there for almost 2 weeks now. And everyone's just kind of accepting these unsatisfactory explanations. I know I'm not. I wish more people would be shouting the way that we have that something more needs to be done. But so far, mission accomplished. The league's kept it brushed under the rug, and the Cowboys have managed to keep a lid on it as well. We'll see what happens at the Combine when Jerry has to talk a little bit more. He'll hold court on his bus, and who knows, maybe he'll get pressed a little more aggressively. But it's just amazing to me that given everything that's gone on with Washington, this one thing, which is a pretty big thing, which is a pretty significant single incident, it hasn't sparked more discussion, debate, and pressure on the league and the team.
Look, what the league could do and should do to support the Dallas Cowboys in this particular case, if they wanted to basically come out and say, look, we are satisfied that, and in order to say we are satisfied, it would mean that either Jeff Pash or somebody in the league organization would have to actually, do a little bit of investigation about this. But the way that this could come to a satisfactory conclusion is for the league to say, look, we've looked into it, and we believe that this was an outlier. It was a single incident involving one employee, if indeed that's what they would find. But the fact is, not saying anything makes everybody believe that it is a bigger story than it may be.
That's the one thing they don't recognize from a PR standpoint. The way you handle some of these stories creates the very clear impression for those of us who cover these stories that you're hiding something. I firmly believe they are hiding something massive as it relates to the Washington Commanders and why they refuse, with very disingenuous explanations, to provide any of the information that Beth Wilkinson discovered during a 10-month investigation. And on this Cowboys thing, they're hiding something there, and they don't want to deal with it. And maybe they will ultimately get away with it, and it will just go away. But we're going to do our part to keep it around.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.